Have you ever heard Animal Kingdom is known as the little kids park of Disney World? Well, although this park is especially known for its appeal to younger kids because of the live animals and being able to pet them and see them, I would say that this isn't just a glorified zoo or that it's just for kids at all. Let's explore 7 attractions that I think adults will actually enjoy more than kids at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Hey there, Seekers, Tisha here. Have you ever heard that Disney's Animal Kingdom park is just a kids park? Or that if you're going to Disney World, you can just skip Animal Kingdom? Well, this park happens to have some of my very favorite attractions, and they aren't just for kids either. In fact, I think adults enjoy and appreciate these attractions just a little bit more than a kid might. All right, the first attraction on my list just happens to be one of the oldest, Dinosaur. This makes our list for several reasons. For one, it's very, very loud. In fact, our kids don't really like going on it. It gets pretty intense on this ride, especially with the noise level. When our kids first went on it, they did not love it. And honestly, one of my sons still does not love to go on it. And one of the reasons why is because it is just too loud. But as adults, we have always really loved this ride, and we make sure to ride it often. Another reason that I don't think kids love this ride as much as adults is that it gets pretty rough. It's not a leisurely stroll back through prehistoric times where you're in a 4x4 vehicle for a reason. It gets very bumpy and jerky, and it's not recommended for the faint of heart. This isn't the Land Before Time type of ride. It's a lot more like Jurassic Park. Dinosaurs on the loose trying to eat you. That's the type of ride this is. This is also a very dark ride. In fact, it's dark throughout the entire thing. Most of the time, it's very difficult to see what's happening around you just a few feet away. But don't worry, you can sure hear it. Actually, rumor has it that this ride might actually be going extinct. See what I did there? Yes, sadly, this ride is rumored to be changing in the future at some point. Maybe to Indiana Jones? But this is just a rumor so far. So if you want to ride Dinosaur, you'll want to do it soon before it's possibly too late. Hidden in the enchanting landscapes of Disney's Animal Kingdom is Expedition Everest, Legend of the Forbidden Mountain. This is such a fun and exciting roller coaster, and the theme is so great. When you're in line, there's so much to look at and read. It keeps you busy until you take off on your expedition. The ride itself can be pretty intense. There are fairly steep drops, a mythical Yeti on the loose, and the tracks themselves are susceptible to being damaged by this hairy monster. I won't give away any spoilers in case you haven't ridden it yet. The ride has some unexpected twists and turns and snarling monsters, and it gets going pretty fast. It's a blast for the older crowds for sure and is full of surprises, but younger kids might be put off by all the extreme thrills on this ride, especially if they haven't done anything like this before. If you have some mini thrill seekers, I can promise you they'll love it. There are some parts of the rides that will get completely dark too, even during the day. This ride is very much a fan favorite of ours, one every thrill-seeking adult would really enjoy. I would just be cautious taking younger kids on this ride unless they are aware of what is in store on this epic expedition. Okay, the next ride I'm going to tell you about is probably the most popular in this entire park, and that is Avatar: Flight of Passage. When the first Avatar movie came out way back in 2008, who didn't love dreaming about flying over Banshee through the mountains of Pandora? Disney made this a reality. Well, in the most real way possible, with Flight of Passage at Animal Kingdom's Land of Pandora. This is a ride that takes you over scenic views of Pandora on the back of a moving, breathing Banshee in front of a giant screen that's 67 feet wide and 97 feet tall. The Land of Pandora comes alive on the massive screen. And with the 3D glasses that you get at the beginning of the ride, you get an up-close and personal view of some of the beautiful wildlife that's in Pandora. There are also some 4D aspects to this ride, such as water, mist, the smell of Pandora. If you've ever ridden Soarin' at Epcot, think of that, only a much more intense version of that ride. The ride Soarin' is a much more calm and relaxing experience, something all kids would love. Flight of Passage is a lot more intense. I think adults just appreciate being able to step into the world of Pandora with all of your senses, with the sound of wildlife, tasting the food and drinks, seeing the waterfalls on the floating mountains, and touching the interactive instruments. Disney truly brought the ability to dive into the world of Pandora that I think any grown-up kid will appreciate. It is seriously one of our favorite parts about the entire Disney world. We love Pandora. It is so fun and we never skip it. Sometimes after a long day at Disney or a long few hours at Disney, getting to sit down in a dark, cool ride can be such a treat, especially for me when I need a break from the heat and walking around the park. This is one of the reasons that I love Navi River Journey. There are a lot of people who do not like this ride and they don't even go on it anymore. It's kind of like a one and done situation. But we love this ride. I love sitting back, relaxing while floating down the river at night in a forest full of beautiful creatures, glow in the dark. It's literally Pandora come to life. Listening to the wildlife and peaceful music just puts me at ease. Literally the relaxing adventure that I needed. While this ride is pretty tame, and my youngest son would say boring, I think that there's so much richness and attention to detail that was created when they created this ride. It really is just astounding. This attraction isn't very long, but the wait times can get pretty long. So this can be a pretty big downside with taking younger kids on this attraction. But because of the attention to detail and the immersion this ride provides, it is a nice treat for us big kids. Okay, so kids love animals. I get that. They really do. Well, most kids. My kids love animals. I am, however, deathly afraid of birds. But for the most part, I love animals too. However, I think the older you are, you can appreciate the attention and care that these animals at Kilimanjaro Safaris get day in and day out. The sheer amount of work and care that goes into this one attraction alone is literally mind-blowing. So much, in fact, that there is even a multiple season show on Disney Plus about it. Kilimanjaro Safaris really is such a great attraction, and honestly, kids do love it, but the animals are pretty far away and sometimes they aren't even out at all, leaving room for much disappointment depending on what time of day you ride the ride. For the young kiddos, they would probably enjoy taking the Wildlife Express train out to Rafiki's Planet Watch. Here, kids can actually pet animals, affectionately known as the affection section. Kids love this place so much since they can get up close and personal with the animals, unlike on Kilimanjaro Safaris. This is a great experience for kids to learn with hands-on interaction with all of the animals that are there. The Kilimanjaro Safaris is a great experience for everyone though, but one I think that adults appreciate and enjoy even more than kids do. Next, I'm going to talk about Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail and Maharajah Jungle Trek. Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail is a self-guided tour at Animal Kingdom where you can see so many animals. I mean, if you're going to go to a park called Animal Kingdom, then I would hope that you would see some animals. You can go at your own pace on the winding, beautiful path. Around every turn, you might see gorillas, meerkats, zebras, and other animals too. I love this little trek. It gets you away from some crowds, into some shade, and you get to learn more about all of the incredible things that Disney is doing to help with protecting animals all over the globe. The last thing you might want to do is more walking. I totally get that. But I love being off the beaten path with this trail, and I know you will too. The other interesting self-guided tour is Maharajah Jungle Trek. On this trek through the jungle, there are footbridges, waterfalls, and all kinds of animals. There are tigers, different species of deer, foxes, water buffalo, and even a bird aviary full of over 50 species of birds. I wouldn't love that, but a lot of people do. You won't want to miss exploring these trails at Animal Kingdom. Don't miss getting away from the crowds and taking a little trek on Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail and Maharajah Jungle Trek. You will not be disappointed. These are so fun and beautiful. Okay, I know I've already talked a little bit about Pandora. We love Pandora. I told you that. I believe it. I'll stick with it until the end of time. Pandora was one of the best things that Disney has ever done. But Pandora at Night? This is something new together. This is an experience that you won't be able to do every day. In fact, there are only certain times of the year, and depending on the park hours, that you'll actually be able to witness this. But when you do get to see this beautiful alien planet in Pandora at night, it is simply breathtaking. There are no other words. As Animal Kingdom Park goes dark, Pandora lights up with its stunning bioluminescence. Sounds of the forest come alive and the trails under your feet light up, taking you past the native alien plants that react to your presence. It can make for a long day at the park to stay late enough to see Pandora transform into this glowing alien planet, but I can promise you it is well worth it. It is not something I might recommend to someone with young kids if they're already tired and they need to get back to the hotel, because you may not appreciate it as much as you need to, but for the older crowd, it is sure worth it. It is one of our favorite things to do at Disney, and I know I say that a lot, but this is literally probably top 3 for us. We think it's so worth staying, walking around, getting a night blossom, which we love from there, and just being in Pandora at night is awesome. And as a bonus, staying past dark, you'll pass by the Tree of Life as it's all lit up. This is a great photo op that you won't get very often. There are actually a few more things that I know adults love too, like Festival of the Lion King, going out to the conservation station, and not to mention all of the great food that they have at Animal Kingdom. Food is an experience, right? I love Animal Kingdom, and while some people say that you could skip it and be totally fine, I do not agree with that opinion. I think everybody needs to go and experience Animal Kingdom at its finest, and when you go as an adult, it's so fun. I'd love to hear about things that you love about Animal Kingdom in the comments below. Let's talk about it. One of the best things that I think adults can do is continue seeking the magic in their own life. So let's just keep seeking the magic together.